Hi, good morning. Praise Jesus, everybody. Hope you've been having a good day today so far. What about more talk of the MK Ultra or the mind control programs and stuff? You know, by now they have to be so highly advanced at it that the stuff that they were doing back in the 70s and 80s, I'm sure is like child's play compared to what goes on now. Now, what brings this up is because my wife, she says, and I mean, it's happened to me before, and she brought up the mind control to me because she's been having a hard time praying. Different words are popping into, or different things are popping into her mind that she says they're not her thoughts, you know, and I don't even know what they are because she says that they're so bad that she's embarrassed to even repeat them, you know, but she believes me now about the mind control stuff, or at least she's starting to. And you know, and this goes back, the episodes that I've had was with one of them was where they can change your mood as well. You know, they put different thoughts in your mind, make you start thinking a certain way that you don't want to think, or change your mood, because if you're real happy, they can change you into being all upset. And like it happened to me one time, only once, when I actually felt them do it, where they messed up, or the Lord let me see what was going on, you know. But I've talked about this before on the channel, that one day that I was all happy in the morning, you know, woke up, everything was going good, and went to go take a walk in the morning, and was just walking like beside our fence going out back to the woods, and it was like this, I mean, soft, it didn't hurt, but a soft feeling like electric shock right in my forehead. And as soon as that happened, my whole mood changed. I got all mad, you know, and upset, even though I knew something happened, that, I mean, something that I've never felt before, like a beam of energy or something, you know, where they can take that and change people's moods. And they can do this in whole cities. They have it set up so they can do it in whole cities. They can change the whole mood of the whole city. And then just think of what they can actually do now, you know, because this is, the targeted individuals have been hooked up to this for a while. You know, I don't know, maybe my whole life, but I know it's been a long time. And but now with everybody getting their potion, so more than likely everybody's going to be hooked up to the same thing that the TIs were hooked up to for a while, that it's really going to be, if they got that much control over everybody and nobody even knows what's going on, they, you know, it's just a total, everybody is just a sitting duck unless you have Jesus, unless you're saved. Because, you know, my wife, she said that scared her when this happened, you know, with the whatever it was that got put into her mind, either by technology or by just supernatural, you know, the demons. But the demons in the supernatural, or the technology, it's basically all just run by the same demons anyways. But she said, you know, that it scared her. And but if this is happening to other people out there, which I know it is, don't be afraid. But what you have to do is you have to lean totally 100% on the Holy Spirit, because He will protect you. He will protect you from these evil demons in this demonic place that we live. And I know that from experience too, because I talked about this on, well, the Swanee One channel. But this was a couple of years ago. I've had a bunch of different like spiritual things happen. Things that are unexplainable, but they happened. So this one night, I got up to go out to the kitchen to go get a drink of water. When I got into the living room, I ran into this force. It was like a magnetic force, like when you push two magnets on the opposite side of each other and they repel. That's the exact feeling that I had when I walked into whatever it was that was there, and it just like threw me down on the ground violently. And then I was sitting there and it slid me across the floor and slammed my back up against the half wall going down the stairs. So I was up against the stairs, and I had been studying about some spiritual warfare, but not a whole bunch yet when this happened, you know. But I knew that when this happened, I had to say Jesus. I had to get the name Jesus out of my mouth, you know, to stop this demonic attack from happening. And so I was sitting there, and I knew what I had to do, except I couldn't speak. I could not talk. As bad as I wanted to, I could not talk. But as soon as I realized that I couldn't talk, this body started speaking in tongues. I started speaking in tongues. And it was, I don't know if it was Latin or something, you know, it was a definite language. Could have been Latin, sounded kind of like it from what I remember and when it was happening. But I was sitting there listening to myself speak, knowing that I was not the one that was doing it. It was totally separate from me. So the Holy Spirit stepped in and said, you are not messing with my boy. You know what I'm saying? And he stepped in, and whatever it was that he said in tongues, that demon just was out of there. It was just out of there. But I was in awe of the whole thing. I was just so happy that I couldn't even, I mean, it was just so amazing to have no control over your speech or with you talking and having the Holy Spirit do it, you know. It was just amazing. One of the most amazing things that's ever happened to me, you know. And so the spiritual realm doesn't really scare me anymore after that. I kind of welcome things to happen because I'm not afraid of it. I know that the Holy Spirit's there to protect us. I mean, he already showed me he did. So, you know, why wouldn't I just expect that all the time? And, you know, and that was... And then after that, you know, I had some more demonic attacks, but the Holy Spirit didn't jump in on those times. I guess they weren't bad enough ones to have to worry about. But, oh, look at that little baby deer run right in front of me. Still got spots on it. That was cool. So, you know, if this stuff is going on, we're hooked up to this mind control program somehow, just remember that God, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, is bigger than any mind control program, and he's got our back. And just trust in him that he's going to take care of you and he's going to protect you, and that you don't have anything to fear, because we don't have anything to fear. This system that we live in is just so much that what we didn't know, you know, growing up here, and the way that they teach us everything, and they don't teach us anything about any of this spiritual place that we live in, and the power of Jesus Christ against this demonic realm. And I'm not somebody that is I'm just a guy, I'm not like the greatest guy in the world as far as being like the best Christian or whatever it is or anything like that. But God must love me. I know that, for him to step in to save me like that. And, just another thing while I'm talking about the spiritual stuff, and just this other time, I was awake out in the back garage, and I was going to sit down. This is back when I was meditating and stuff, before the Holy Spirit told me to get out of all, like the new age type of stuff. And I just sat down in the chair, and I forgot to wear my music that I was used to listening to, doing it to get in that right zone, And I was sitting there, and I just sat down in the chair, and I looked at the pilot light on the heater that was going in the garage, and it was like 3 seconds, and I was in a whole different place. Like, I felt like the top of my head was all electric. It felt like it was hooked up to some kind of a cord or something, because I could move my head and I could feel it dragging, like when you whip a hose or something, Just think of that in slow motion, like moving your head and you can feel it. But I was up in heaven, and there was 4 angels standing around me, and I never even asked them anything. I was there crying, basically, on my hands and knees. I just couldn't even believe that I was where I was at. And then they just stood there, and they were tall, like, I don't know, 15 feet tall, probably, at least, but they were all dressed in long gowns with the hoods hanging over, all in white. And then they had their hands tucked in their cuffs, so I couldn't see their hands, I couldn't see their face. All I could see was their bodies standing there, but they were big, 15, 20 feet tall. And then there I was in the middle of them, crying. So they just looked at me for a little while, and then the next thing I know, I'm going down a hallway, and I remember there was a door on the left-hand side of me, and we just went past that and kept on going straight, and there was this door right at the end of a hallway. And the door opened up, and I was like in the room, and there was this, like, what you would think that the tree of life would look like, like a big maple tree, or, what that looks like. And I was looking at that, and then the numbers 144,000 like came across, like kind of like on a ticker tape, and it was green. It was 144,000 in like digital numbers, and they were green. And I didn't know what that meant at the time, because I hadn't really been studying the Bible too much or anything. But they say that, the 4 angels, or the 4 corners of the earth, are the ones that sealed 144,000. Now, I'm not saying anything, but I'm telling you that that's what happened to me. And I don't know why. I don't know why God would pick me for anything like that, but it, I guess, it's just fun talking about it, because that stuff doesn't happen too often, and it's amazing. It's totally amazing. And I know people out there listening to me going, oh yeah, he's all whacked out, must be on drugs and all this. And, well, I was not on drugs, and I was sober as a whatever, and it was kind of like just early afternoon when it happened. And I have some other spiritual stuff, experiences and all that, but I've talked about them before, so I won't go into everything right now. But I'll save some stuff for different videos and throw them in when I talk about them. I don't want to keep talking about the same thing over and over and over and over, though, with you guys. But anyways, just know that the spiritual realm is real. Know that Jesus Christ is real. And our Father in heaven is so real, So real. Just be nice to be able to be with him and communicate a little bit easier than what it's like here. Sit down, have a chat with each other. Wouldn't that be great? Anyhow, I will talk to you guys later. I was just going to put that out there. You know, we just got to have faith. We got to have faith in that God's real and that he's going to protect us, because he does. And I'm here to tell you that he does, because he did with me. And he's done it my whole life. I just didn't really realize what was going on my whole life until I was saved. So, okay, guys, we're just going to say the Lord's Prayer, okay? And look up in the heavens. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed by thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. So be it. Okay, guys. Talk to you later. See you, love you, bye.